We know what we are.
We
We know what
we
we
know what we
are.
are.
Champions of Europe. We know what we are.
are.
Yeah, you already know we're going to start off with that. We're shameless like that. Big up everyone who's locked in. Like and subscribe. It is yet another daily stream. Was meant to be at 3 p.m., but I was up all night watching the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight because I have no sense, but I have enough sense not to pay for it at the very least. But big up everyone. Smash the like and subscribe button down below. Jesters, Josh, I know you guys are in a good mood today. Christian Pulisic, your boy, has turned up yet again. What are you guys telling me? CONCAF Nations League champions. Let's
There was more fighting. There was more fighting in that game than there was in the fight that you watched.
Yeah.
I'm fuming I missed that for the fight, you know, because I didn't know it was on that late. Like, I literally just finished the fight and I heard the fucking game was finished and you guys won the tournament. I was like, I really miss USA Mexico for this shit. I can't be asked.
I'm telling you what, if you ever want to see old style football, I mean, when everything went, I mean, as long as you didn't stab somebody on the pitch, you don't get a red card. This is what you need to watch CONCACAF for, because Mexico should have at least had one person sent off.
Yep.
I mean, just for the challenge on the keeper alone, slide tackle a keeper in the chest. That's a red card.
Yeah.
That's a red card.
What? He had a stud on his chest? Because I know how painful that can be, because I've had it once. Oh, yeah, I had that as a goalkeeper as well. Literally, some guy literally went with his feet high up, and it went straight into my chest. It killed.
You get the first super chop. Yeah, big up Daniel as well, saying big up Pulisic for bringing a trophy back to USA. It's mad enough hearing that, like, it's not just our referees are fucking shit. You guys are having your own problems as well. And I was saying the Mexico fans are throwing piss at the players. I don't know if they're taking beats with them, man, or what.
Yeah, it's a nasty rivalry with U.S. Mexico in the CONCACAF, and when Pulisic scored the late winner, he went over to the flag and let him know it's time to be quiet. And they were getting hit with every bottle from the stands you could imagine. It was intense.
So the USA Mexico rivalry, is it more of a derby or is there more political history behind it? Like
everything.
It's both.
It's all of it.
It's a mix.
Yeah. And it just happens to be like those are the two. I mean, CONCACAF, let's be honest, is a very weak kind of division, conference, whatever you want to call it. But those two teams, there's just a lot of bad blood between them when it comes to on the pitch, off the pitch. It's a really heated rivalry, and so Mexico has gotten the best of us quite a bit the last couple of years. So it was good to get one back, and especially for a trophy.
Yeah, first ever Nations League trophy.
Wait, is that America's first ever trophy?
No. It's the first ever of that type. That trophy. It was the first.
Yeah.
It was meant to be held in 2020, but of course, we all know what happened, and so they played the group stages 570 odd days ago, and they finally finished up the tournament now. But it's the first ever Nations League trophy. But no, the Latin American countries, when they play the United States, there's an extra thing in there because that's the team they want to beat just because we're a small country facing the biggest country in the world, right? So there's always extra motivation. But actually, the Mexican fans were absolutely horrible. I mean, they actually hit Gio Reyna in the face with a bottle, and then one of their own players got hit as well. And then, of course, homophobic slurs. They had to stop the game for 3 minutes. And it's all
homophobic slurs?
Yeah, because it's Gay Pride Month, right?
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So, and it all came from the Mexican fans. The U.S. fans, especially in Colorado, not going to do something like that. So until CONCACAF comes up and says we're going to ban fans for stuff like that, it's going to continue to happen. Because that's the rule. We talk about all this, anti-racism, anti-bigotry stuff, but in those countries, poor countries, they don't even care about any of that stuff. They're more worried about making ends meet, paying, feeding their families. That's first world problems for them. So
yeah, I hear what you're saying as well, and we've seen the problems with us trying to get trying to get more awareness towards anti-racism chants and shit like that as well. I feel like it's going to be the same problem with you guys and the homophobia, where you guys are going to want it to get pushed and it's not really going to lead to anything. It's the same problem that we're having. Everyone will just do up awareness, but they won't do anything to actually solve the problem. So Daddy's saying the biggest rivalry in international soccer. Not really think of anything else that comes off the top of our head. Like the rivalry in the British Isles is fucking weak. There might be something between Albania and Poland, maybe, I think, or somewhere in Eastern Europe. Other than that, off the top of my head, I'm not really thinking of any other big international rivalries. Maybe Germany and Holland. I know that's a good one.
What about the Irish? Do they really? Is that?
Yeah.
For Ireland v Northern Ireland. I don't even know the last time they played together.
Yeah, I can't really think of a game where they played each other. But I'd imagine there's probably still some blood there.
Yeah, no, I can't recall the last time we played. We played Scotland a couple times. Big 2-2 draw, I think, a few years ago. They nearly got a win against us, but then Harry Kane got a last-minute equaliser. We're facing them in the Euros in the group stage. And other than that, we don't really play them that frequently, to be honest. Big up Artem with the donation as well, saying Pulisic with a winner last night, but in all honesty, was pretty poor overall. He showed some good stuff, but then would hold the ball too long. That's his biggest problem. McKennie dominant in the air. What are you guys saying on Pulisic's individual performance yesterday?
Well, go ahead,
Jester. No, you're fine.
For the first half, he was non-existent because they played down the right side. He played on the left side. The coaching is very, very poor. You guys have Southgate. We have our own issues with Berhalter. The team selection, you're just going, what? They got the formation correct, but the tactics and the personnel were wrong. It was just poor selection. They have to play MLS players. You kind of have at least one starting for some reason and that's why Jurgen Klinsmann got fired. Didn't rate MLS and MLS players. And there's a reason they play in the MLS. They're not good enough to play internationally. Yep. So they played a kid that I don't know. I've never heard of him, Mark McKenzie. He gave away a goal within 2 minutes of the game start. He passed the ball to a Mexico player who scored within 2 minutes. We were down 1-0 in 2 minutes. You switch to a back four and you have Anthony Robinson on your bench and you don't bring him in at left back. You're playing Tim Ream there. Tim Ream from Fulham, who played 5 games this year. And then
I thought he was a Fulham player, to be honest. I remember him from the last time they came up, but not even this season. He's barely started.
Well, he only played 5 games for him this year.
Not even through injury.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Okay, fair enough.
And so you take him off to bring some other midfielders on, and you move a midfielder to left back when you still have a left back on the bench. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So he's an MLS coach, and if you want MLS tactics in international football, you're going to get beat a lot.
So you're saying the thing with the US is you don't need to get a more experienced manager?
Yeah, I think that's with you guys too, right? Especially when you pick Ben.
Oh, fuck yeah. Don't think I'm using it to try and point fingers at nothing, because we're in a big mess up.
Right, Ben White.
Not like Wales manager, Rob Page.
Oh,
all of our managers are shit. Fuck it.
God.
You might as well just leave it like that.
I don't want to talk about England because I'm just going to end up going into anger mode, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, wait, did you watch the England game? Because I know I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I watched it, and I fell asleep majority of the game because it got so bloody boring because he does... Oh, Southgate, please answer me a question. James Ward-Prowse creates opportunities. His dead ball is the best in England. We've got... And you don't take him, you take Ben White instead. You just admitted defeat and you got no defenders.
I'll trade you for Berhalter.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's like that's like different forms of crap. Would you rather step in cow crap or dog crap? It's just crap.
Yeah, that was I know. Sorry, I got bumped there for a second, but yeah, that when he was announced as the head coach of the United States, I was extremely disappointed. It's just a really poor hire. I'll be honest. I liked Jurgen Klinsmann. I think the United States has Jurgen Klinsmann to thank for a lot of stuff, considering the young players that we have, young dual citizenship players that we have in the program right now. He's responsible for a lot of that. But yeah, I was really hoping they would try to go with an international coach to help this team here. But yeah, I was sorely disappointed with his hire.
Yeah, but him winning the Nations League is only going to keep him in your job for a lot longer as well.
That is true.
Yep.
So that's a bit bittersweet for you guys as well. But go on.
The best thing was Pulisic played every minute of that game.
Yep.
Every minute from start. It was 90 minutes plus the 30, so 120 minutes, and he played the entire game. And so no injury concern. Plus now he's going on vacation. So I don't think he's even playing the Gold Cup.
You talked about his injury. Since Tuchel, I don't think he's really had too much of a scare in injuries, has he? As I remember, it seems to be pretty good. Even the Porto game, they kept taking him out and everything, and he just kept getting back up. He just seems to got a bit stronger for some reason.
Well, I think he was over his injury, but some of that stuff is mental. You come off an injury, and if you start feeling something in that area, you're like, oh, I can't. This right here plays tricks on you. If you feel something, you're like, no, I can't chance it. So I think some of it is just getting over that mental hurdle of, no, I'm fine. My body can't do this. Let's go. And so I hope he kicks on this year. I really do. If he does, and we bring in, so we can get into today's discussion. If we bring in Haaland, we're winning everything. So now that I brought Haaland up, we can go there.
Yeah, we can go into Haaland. So big up Sir Daddy as well, saying the only good centre-back that we have is Brooks. You guys are going to need to tell me whether you agree or disagree. I'll be real, I'm clueless when it comes to USA international team. I ain't going to go too far into it. And he's dropped another donation as well. Much appreciated, saying, I don't even know if we have a captain. I swear he switches it every match. Some games it's Pulisic, others it's Stefan. Is that kind of similar to England, or do we just stick with Harry Kane as captain?
We stick with Harry Kane. If he's not fit, then we go to Harry Maguire. If he ain't fit, it's Jordan Henderson. It's just bollocks.
No, he rotates it through the squad because he's an idiot. I mean, that's all I can say. Just an idiot.
Yeah, I don't rate Southgate.
Just another shit managerial move. It is what it is. We had the exact same thing where we switched the captaincy a fuck ton of times for England. I ain't even too sure. Yeah, I don't feel like it's been the same. It's been Terry, then it's been who was after JT? Was it Rooney? We had Rooney as captain for a
Rooney.
JT, then it was Rooney. Then it was who was it for 2018? Then it was Harry Kane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your greatest ever manager, though.
What do you mean he's our greatest ever manager?
I mean, there's not much competition, is there?
Hey, what about?
You have to go back to the 60s.
Wait.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was gonna,
are we talking about just how far they've gone, or them in terms of a manager? Because I mean, Sven couldn't really get our midfield sorted.
No, but I think
Big Sam's a good. What are you on about? Big Sam's better. 100%.
Oh yeah, with 100% win percentage.
Wow, man.
What do you have? One game?
No, I think
one game, one win.
Big Sam's actually better than Southgate.
Fucking ever done in 50
Southgate
years.
is generational when it comes to English coaches.
You know what I hate?
You know
what I hate? Statistically, that is correct.
That is correct, man.
Jesus.
I'm only talking facts.
Oh, I can't be fucking arsed, man. We're actually stuck with this for another tournament. CBA, man. So Daddy's saying captains was Gerrard in 2014.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember 2014 because we were in and out like that. We didn't even make out the group stages. So I wouldn't take too much blame on that. Was it Marcus Rashford captain yesterday? Was it Rashford?
Yeah, I heard.
Why are you
Don't
playing
get me
him?
started on that guy, please. Don't get me started on him.
He's
Jesus.
injured, and you play him for 90 minutes, and he's injured.
Oh,
He's carrying an injury.
That's down to Ollie as well. Like I've been calling Ollie overuses
Okay,
players. He
Ole
never
are both
rotates.
as washed
He never.
as each other.
Yeah, I know, but like he never benches players. He just overuses players, and I've been calling it. Ollie's just got overdo his players.
Can we not talk about England? Because my blood weight is going higher and higher. I don't want to talk about England because it fucking does my head in.
Don't worry, man. It's coming home. Don't worry.
So there was another super chat in there about the U.S. keeper situation.
Yeah, this was it. Who would you choose for goalkeeper, Horvath or Stefan? Stefan's a Man City goalkeeper, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's been shocking in the 2 games that he's played. He went on a walkabout, almost gave up a goal against Honduras. Came out of the goal when he shouldn't have, and then his positioning was poor on the goal that was scored within 2 minutes. He got beat at the front his near post, went right over his shoulder because he was too far out of his goal.
And he played some poor balls all night. He was, we don't play very well from the back. Our center backs are not very good ball playing center backs, but for whatever reason, instead of just getting the ball deep last night, he was trying to play short balls to the center backs. And the U.S. men's national team is not Man City, so I was very disappointed with him. I like Horvath. I thought Horvath has been a good keeper for the United States for a couple of years now, but I mean, they're both average to maybe slightly above average, but I mean, honestly, it's a hard shout, but I would probably say Horvath if I had to pick one.
Yep.
Who does Horvath play for? Is it an MLS club?
No, he's at Cercle Bruges or Club Bruges. One of the two.
Yeah, Club Bruges. He's in the I think it's Austrian league.
Yeah, I believe it's Club Bruges. He's at
or Belgium league. One of the two. So he plays overseas, but not top flight. But what can you do?
Fair enough. All right, cool. We will move this into the Erling Haaland news.
Yeah.
We actually spent 20 minutes talking about international football. I'm actually really happy with that. I've learned a lot from this as well. But yeah, Erling Haaland. We're back here again. And I can't pronounce this source to save my life. Jan Agfortov. I really hope I haven't butchered that name, but I probably have.
Did.
Yeah. Do you know the right way to pronounce it?
Jan Agafjortov.
Jan Agafjortov. I'm just going to work with that. Right. He was on an interview for ESPN, I think, a few hours ago, and he said 10 days ago he expected to hold his contract and stay for another year. But right now, both clubs still have serious intentions of signing a number 9, and both clubs also have the money to pay for Erling Haaland as well. Hold up, we got Kozilla and Fata. Let me get you guys into the stream as well. Big up, you guys. And he also said, let's put it this way. I was in Porto, so was Chelsea, so we will see what could be developing coming up. I don't know if he means himself or if he means Haaland's dad, but I know he has close connections to Norway, close connections to Dortmund, and close relations with Haaland's dad as well, because he played with him in international football. And there's also been a tweet that's just come out about 25 minutes ago. I'm going to put on screen quickly. Where is it? That's the wrong one. Here it is. He said Chelsea are working intensely to try and get Erling Haaland. He is seen as the missing player to make them challenge for the Premier League title next season. The fee is very high, but the confidence is that this can be solved. I feel like that's hinting at putting another player on the other side of the deal as well, which I think would be smart for Chelsea to do in this situation. But the main obstacle would be the wage structure at Chelsea, and I think that's been the most worrying part of all of this. And we'll talk about the valuation fee, and I've said 150 million for someone who I think is going to need to take a season to settle. It's a bit too much for right now, but we do just need a goal scorer, full stop. And we are starting to create more chances than we were midway through the season, so I'm trying to find the way to warm up to this as well. But long term, it would be the right option for us. But the wage structure is the problem, because we can't have this guy on the wages that Raiola is trying to push for him. And I think Raiola's really starting to lose a bit of his mojo as well. If you take a look at the Donnarumma situation too, like this guy was really trying to push for, I don't know how big the wages are, but I think now he's trying to look for wages that were less than AC Milan were even willing to offer him at the start. So he's kind of fucked himself, and now I feel like he's starting to lose a little bit of what he had before. So I'm hoping we could be able to negotiate on the wage front, and if we could, like that would probably be our best. That would probably be our best option to try and get this transfer through. But we should not be getting bent over for this sort of transfer, or any sort of transfer, because I still think there's a chance that if we could potentially make a serious push for Lukaku, we could ruffle some feathers. But that's the case of whether we go and do it or not. Oh, wait, fucking hell, Fata, you shaved. I didn't even notice. Mad.
Unless
Chelsea are going to pay 150 million, because when I say this, but I think Dortmund would not be, negotiating cheaper for him. I can't see them doing the deal this year, but next year for sure if they're still doing it. So
yeah,
it'll be this summer.
Yeah, I wasn't breaking news on wait. Yeah.
Well, I think one thing we got to think about, Lewis, too, is if we're talking about a player like Erling Haaland, and we're talking about the fee that it's going to cost to bring him, when it comes to the wage structure, we're going to have to make an exception with him, especially a player like him. We're talking about one of maybe 2 or 3 world-class players that we just don't have that kind of player at Chelsea. And so I know it's going to be an insane fee and an insane wage, but I think we're going to have to look past that for a guy like him. I'm not saying build a team around those kind of wages, but for that kind of individual, when you're talking about the type of player he is, I think that's something we're going to have to just accept, that his wages are going to be high and they're going to be staggering. But I think at the end of the day, if we get trophies, go ahead. I'm sorry, Liz.
No, I was just saying there's high and then there's taking the piss. That's
unless if you want to like a big giant of hope, is that Dortmund doesn't want to lose the extra money if they can get him this summer with his release clause next summer. And then the inevitability is like the Bayern will probably get him, but I'm not sure how the financial stable Borussia Dortmund is now.
Can I tell you my breaking news yet?
Yeah,
I'm waiting on the stream, but I've got loads to tell you guys. Loads and loads and loads about good.
Come on, tell us. Wait, just before you do that, Artem's saying maybe send Ziyech the other way to Dortmund. We'll talk about Ziyech later on in the video as well. If that was a possibility, I'd be for it. It depends on how much it takes off the valuation fee.
The only player that's going the other way is the player none of you want to go the other way. I'm telling you right now, I watch Dortmund. I know how they operate. They don't want a 28-year-old. They're going to want youth because that's their plan. That's their model. That's how they run their club. So the only player that they'll accept the other way is Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Right.
Hey, let's be real, man. How many swap deals happen in football? How many?
It won't be direct.
We talk a lot about swap deals, but how many actually do happen?
Well, it's not a swap deal. Let's get what happens is we go in and we pay 150 million.
I don't know.
Well, this is how it works. The deal goes down like this. We're going to pay you X amount of dollars. Okay, you get all that. You put that on your books. In turn, we're going to let you buy this player for X amount of dollars, and we can put that on their books and on our books. So it looks like a player swap, but it's when in actuality, it's just an agreement that we're going to buy this player, you're going to buy this player from us, and we can put the sales on our books as the full amount, and then annuitize the payments, so your books look better. That's how that works. It does. It's shown as a swap deal. The reason that you do that now is because of COVID tax, right? Because the teams don't have the money that they used to have. And that's the same thing with wage structure. So he's not going to get $600K at any club at this point because nobody has that type of money. Madrid don't have that type of money. Barcelona don't have that type of money. City's not putting anybody on $600K a week. They're not going to do that because that blows their wage structure out of the market too. Exactly. So you might see 300. I could see 300.
Okay, 300 is fair.
I would like to see 250, but cool.
Yeah, 250.
If if we have to take 300, like, you better play like a 300.
But you could also have escalators in that contract as well. I'm sorry, Wayne. We'll let you get to your. You can put escalators. So say that for the first 2 years you get 250. The third year it kicks up to 350. Right. So you could structure the contract that way. So and you could put in, okay, we win the Champions League, bang. In a year, you'll go to 350 or whatever. You know, you could do stuff like that to make it creative.
I'd hope so. Like, because 300 off the bat, I think, with the wage structure and everything, you're putting too much pressure on this guy. And we said the same thing with Hudson-Odoi, where he got the big wage, where we were like, cool, you're on 120k a week now. You better play like a 120k a week player. And I think the same energy would have to run for Haaland. And it will do with the price tag as well. Declared saying Haaland is what we need, and we need patience. Half the team is under 23. We will challenge for titles now, but in 3 years we will bring domination. I hear what you're saying, but like this is where I'm going back to saying why I wanted Lukaku, where I want experience with the youth, because then they bring that experience to youth players and they develop and they grow more. If it's a younger team, it's an all-out inexperienced team, which is why our attackers look so poor throughout the season, because it's been a young side and it hasn't really been a team of anyone who's had to carry an entire attack other than maybe Kai Havertz, but Havertz has been injured half the season as well, so even he's had his struggles as well. That's why I would prefer a Lukaku, but if Haaland comes, you know me, I'm going to support him.
Lewis, you know, that being said, you know that comment there, yeah? There's no telling. The reason why I wanted Lukaku is because we're going to get a player in his prime who's probably going to stay with us for more than a couple of seasons. But that being said, there's no telling that Kai Havertz will stay at this club for a vast majority of his career. There's no telling that Haaland would. There's no telling that all of these guys would at the end of the day. But I think Lukaku would stay and give us a good chunk of his career at the club that he has left.
So do I. We've always said unfinished business and everything, and I feel like that runs with Lukaku too. Wayne, you've been trying to speak, so go for it, man.
Yeah, well, this is on this God. What I got told is so exciting. I couldn't straight away tell anyone because I want to break it on Lewis's channel first off, so everyone can hear it at the same time. The deal is when he signed his new deal, he wrote in players he wants to sign. They have agreed to the paper of the players who he wants. He's going to be signing them. They're going to do everything in their power to sign them. One of those names was Haaland. And
one of the names that
Tuchel said,
"Yep."
No, initially, Tuchel wants Haaland. He doesn't want Lukaku. He wants Haaland. Abramovich wants Haaland. Abramovich has said money is no object for Haaland. He's really gone and boldly said that. The only issue is the devil, as they quote, and I think we know that is. That's the only issue with the deal. There's going to be surprises for us in this summer. We don't realise yet, but there's going to be surprises in and out of the bridge. And part of the deal could be a very, very possibility, like just as we said, that Hudson-Odoi is going the opposite direction. Because if Sancho still goes through what is supposed to happen, he's a suitable replacement. And they've really got a replacement in mind for Haaland in Dhaka from that team. Can't say the team's name.
Salzburg.
Yeah, and then on top of all that, there's players that are on loan that he wants to keep. Bakayoko is one of them, supposed to be that he's thinking about keeping.
Bakayoko?
Yeah.
God save us. God save us.
Tuchel, work another miracle, my guy, please.
To be fair, he wanted him at PSG, so...
that is true.
Yeah.
But
Chelsea just printed in my head, and it's just,
I know we have our horror story of Bakayoko, but I swear if you watch him his last couple seasons in Italy, he has been pretty decent. Like he has not been
I
a
know,
terrible
but
player.
I feel like he's found his league there, and it's like, cool, succeed in Serie A. That's your league. He struggled in the Premier League. It's the same thing with Morata to me.
Do you have some more? It sounds like you still have some more there.
Oh yeah, I've got more. I've got loads more. Like, the other name that they're all the youth players he wants to bring back and see how they get on because he's a big fan of the Chelsea youth. But another name that are
Mine, I linked you.
Is he wants to link is Barkley. He wants to see if he's going to be any good. I know Lewis is going to hate that because I know he doesn't like him. But there's other names as well, and he's not holding saying that he can keep them, but he wants to see what they can do. There's a load. There's supposed to be a lot of a fire.
You don't tell me Batshuayi's coming back at this rate.
I don't know that one, but all I do know is going to be a lot of surprises in store for us this summer.
That's how Chelsea run, though.
I imagine a world where Timu Bakayoko is the answer to our DM problems. I am done. I am so done.
Wait, can I ask you? What have you been drinking this morning, by the way?
No, this ain't him. This is his sauce.
He got sauces.
Mate.
Wait, is it the same source who told you Lukaku?
The same source that told me Lukaku was a B, and they weren't sure because of Haaland. Because the Haaland status has moved, and because Tuchel has said he wants him, it's all changed. It's all go. Let's go for him.
I think that's after Champions League. We shifted gears from Lukaku to Haaland because
I think it might have been his quotes as well about being happy there and wanting to work with Inzaghi and shit. I feel like that's been a factor to it as well.
They won't win the league, though.
Wait, did someone say drink water as well? No one said drink water, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god!
I didn't say drink water. No, don't worry, we haven't gone that far. I don't
stop that, man.
Don't talk about that avian murder.
We ain't bringing Zappa Costa back for right wing back depth either, are we?
I don't. I know, like I said, it's supposed to be a lot of surprises. And the other thing I got found out is there's a player on the list that Tuchel's very familiar with from previous teams he's coached. So I know.
Yes, Mbappe's coming. Let's go.
What position? What position?
I don't know.
Repeat that, please.
Wouldn't let me know position, but that's all I know.
Weigl, maybe.
What do you say?
Yeah, Weigl.
It could be Weigl.
Marquinhos in. Let's go.
It could be Weigl. It could be Aubameyang still. I'm trying to think of all the players he's worked with. It could be Dembele.
Right. Speaking about Aubameyang, why you all be surprised if we're linked to Aubameyang?
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
That we had yesterday. Unless he's like 20 million, I don't want him.
To be fair, it's just like the media trying to make a case of Chelsea taking the place of Arsenal. I mean, look, we're the champions.
Which I'm here for.
Want to win trophies? Just come to Chelsea.
I mean, I'm here for the piss take, but he would also be a good backup.
Almost a bit finished.
But it looks like Wayne. Did they have Ziyech possibly going out? Your source, or was that brought up?
It weren't brought up. I'll probably be speaking to her soon enough, but I will talk to him about other things. But I'm not trying to be too clingy about it and talk to about things. It's just if it comes up, it comes up.
Like Bournemouth preaching to the choir here. If we go for Haaland, I've got no issue. However, my concern will be adaptability. He will need at least a year. This is literally the only thing I'm worried about. If he comes, the wage structure will be sorted, and we would have got a price tag sorted. So I'm not worried about that. My worry is simply put, is he going to hit the ground running? Because that's what we need. If that's not going to happen, we're going to have our own problems for next season as well. Season afterwards, we should be fine. Long term, it will be a great option for us. It's just don't expect him to come here and bang 30, 40 goals in the season like he's done in the Bundesliga. Because if you have, you've learned absolutely nothing from the Timo Werner deal.
Yeah, but he's a different player than Timo.
I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's that guy that needs that adaptability time. He's just when he like everything he exudes when you watch him for the club, for international football, he's got that air about him where it's like, I bag goals, that's what I do.
I know, but it's an open league, that's why. It's a very attacking league, the Bundesliga. That's why I keep saying when he has to face about 10, 12 low blocks, 20 to 30 low blocks a season, then he's going to struggle to adapt to that. And I think that's why he's going to need a season.
I think he'll bully a low block. And he's a beast of a guy. Like
I'm not talking about his frame, and his frame's the exact reason why I think he will succeed long term. Because you're correct, he would bully defenders. It's just changing from a situation of playing into an open league to playing into a more defensive league. Like, there's different situations to deal with in game, and he's going to have to learn to adapt to that. And that's why it's going to take a lot longer than I think people are expecting for him. Like, I'd love to be proved wrong. Like, if he comes in and bags 10 in 10, I'll sit on every stream and say, yes, I was wrong. We got a fucking gun, man. We're good. I have my reservations over whether that's going to happen immediately. That's all.
No, that's fair.
But if that,
fair, man.
Like, but if that first season...
Go on, man. Sorry.
Go ahead. Well, all I was going to say is basically in this first season, if we don't see immediate return, I'm not even worried, man. If we get Haaland, that's a 10-year, that's a statement signing. We could get 10 goals from him. I'm expecting increased output from our other offensive players. And by the time we reach the end of that season, he's going to have acclimated to the environment. And Chelsea is an environment for winners. Oh, I mean, that's low, man. That's like the lowest I could see happening. That's like terrible situation. Yeah, but I'm just saying, even then, I'm still not worried if we get Haaland, because that's not, we aren't signing him for an instant good season the next year. We're signing him to be dominant for a decade, man. We're out here to dominate Europe if we sign Haaland. We're not here just for a Premier League next year. No. We need to look at the bigger picture.
I mean, I will say one thing that also does worry me is the next contract afterwards, because we know what Raiola's going to do. But if he signs, I'd rather we cross that bridge when we come to it, because we know how good of a player he's going to be by the time we get to that point.
Riola could have had a heart attack by then.
I don't see players like Haaland staying at Chelsea for more than a couple seasons. Like, honestly, I think the max I can see Haaland staying at Chelsea is four seasons, man. Then you'll probably go to like Madrid or something.
You reckon it should be like the Hazard though? You scared about it?
The Hazard stayed with us for a long time, man.
But it depends on what the other clubs out there are doing. If indeed, we all hated the Super League, but if the reasons behind it were because other countries' leagues are cash strapped, this is not going to go away anytime soon. It's not like, okay, we're back open now and we're just going to recoup all the money we lost. It doesn't happen that way. So especially since you don't know what's coming around next. What happens to be a war in Europe or another pandemic? You don't know.
Or recession.
Economic recession. You do not know what's going to happen in the future. None of us are fortune tellers. So you go get him, you lock him up, and then you do what you do. And if you're winning and he's happy because he's playing with people around his age and they can grow together, he might stay because, he's putting trophies in the trophy cabinet. He's marketable, especially, look, I know that this is underrated, but with Pulisic there, Haaland can become a big name in the States. A big marketable name with Nike. I don't know if Nike.
So about Pulisic and Haaland link up.
Yep, and do that, and he can become huge because the money that comes out of the States to professional athletes is just unreal. I mean, it's just so.
To build on what?
The market. Say again.
Sorry, Jester. Go ahead. No. Please go ahead.
Well, that was my last statement because gentlemen, I have to go to get ready for work. Unfortunately, I got to pay bills.
Yeah, no worries.
I feel that, Jester.
Yeah, take care, bro. Love.
Take care.
All right, love y'all.
Just to follow up on what Jester was saying, though, like we might be on the verge of a paradigm shift here because we look at what's COVID's done to the world economy. We look at the continent, what's going on with a lot of the traditional powers in Real Madrid and Barcelona. is 4 years enough time for them to come to the place where they can afford to pay 200+ million for a player like Haaland? Because that's what it's going to take to move him on. If we buy him for 178 million, we ain't taking a loss. And if Riola is the thing that gets in between us, I just don't see that, especially if Haaland's having a good time at Chelsea, I just don't see him being able to turn that whole situation around. So I just don't know that we would be a stepping stone for him. I think that Chelsea's turning into a club where and Eden Hazard, we saw that with him. You go and you spend the best years of your career.
It all depends on how our few years go. Like, we would have to dominate English and European football for me. We would have to have one of the best sides in Europe consistently for a long period of time, because I think as a club, as in terms of marketability and in terms of stature, we aren't even that low on the pecking order as people make us out to be. Like, obviously, you'll have your Real Madrids, your Barcelonas, your Bayern Munichs at the top, I think. And then I think we're just on the level below, if that makes sense. So I don't think we're really too far off. So as long as we were to dominate, because for me with Eden Hazard, I've always said, if he really wanted to leave for Real Madrid, if that really was his dream move and that was all he ever envisioned, he would have left way before the age of 28. The guy would have left after 14-15 when we won the league, 15-16 after that howler of a season where he could have left on the cheap, 16-17 after winning the league, 17-18 after he should have been player of the tournament for the World Cup. Courtois was leaving and he was meant to be leaving with him too, but he stayed another year. Do you know why? Because he loved the club. And most players that come to Chelsea end up really enjoying their time here and they don't really want to leave.
Yeah, so we take care of our players.
Haaland doesn't strike me as the guy that cares about Spain, man. I don't think he cares about Real Madrid or Barcelona. I think that's bullshit, man. He's from Scandinavia, man. He doesn't care about come on.
Yeah, seriously.
You can tell, when Eden Hazard's last game, you can tell it's hard for him to leave, like, to say it and everything. You can tell for Eden Hazard, like, he didn't really want to leave, but he had to.
No, but Hazard, I think Hazard was an anomaly, man.
I don't really say he had to. I just think, like, our squad was just shit. And he
was doing us a favor. He got us 110 mil.
But you can tell what you can
I think Hazard's the only exception, man. If we look at it historically, Hazard's the only exception. I think Hazard, bro, he loved the club at the end of the day. If he didn't love the club, he wouldn't have stayed when we finished 10th that season. So I think, bro, I don't think there's been a case historically where we've been linked with like the biggest youngster coming out of Europe, and then to expect him to stay at the club for like X amount of years when there's continental giants that we have to compete with, like Real Madrid. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem realistic to me.
Yeah, but we are a giant. Like we're so ideally placed. We've just opened up the U.S. market in a huge way. We are very well positioned, like Jester was saying, to take that U.S. money. I mean, hey, coming from a U.S. fan, right? Like we are really well positioned to monetize that. And look at the way that Real Madrid and Barcelona were trying to steal. They were trying to get in on that money by joining the Super League. They were trying to get in on that same deal. They were taking investments from J.P. Morgan. They're taking like lifeline loans. And now that that's fallen through, they are in a terrible financial situation. A kind of situation that it takes a generation to get out of, unless you've got a whole country behind you. And even then, are they going to be able to come up and compete with Chelsea on a financial level, on a clout level, once we're 5 years in and presumably, fingers crossed, we've won some other major titles? I just don't think so.
Bro, do you know is that being said, I think the money aspect of things it's blown out of proportion, to be fair. If players were solely looking for the money and whatnot, they'd be playing in China. But I think these type of players, right, they have a mentality to win and play at the biggest club in the world. It's like football heritage. Like I don't think there's any one of our players that if Real Madrid were to come knocking the next day would refuse to move to Real Madrid at the end of the day. Like we're not in the same bracket.
Mason Mount.
Bar Mason Mount, bar Mason Mount. Any other player.
Yes, the club wouldn't let it happen.
Well, I think too when you look at guys, there's that word project is tossed around a lot now, where it's like, oh, does the player like the project? Is this project good for this player or that player? I don't think right now in Europe there's a better project than Chelsea, especially with the talent that we have. Like if you look at those squads, like if Erling Haaland went to Real Madrid, okay, that's one piece, but now they've got to fill another 5 pieces to be competitive for a while in Europe. We're stacked right now to where we only need 1 or 2 pieces, and we could be looking at a really long, all goes well, a really long run of dominance in Europe and England. there's obviously going to be some contenders in England every year. That's just how the league is set up. But I mean, when you're looking at projects, if someone's really looking at a project, like what team is set up best for me to go to and help win right now? I mean, Chelsea is as nice as a project as you can get across Europe's top 5 leagues when you look at it. It just is.
Yeah, like you want to live in a museum in Madrid, or you want to like join Chelsea and make history now.
Yeah, because here's the thing: you could go to Real Madrid, but still be at Real Madrid, and it takes a lot for you to be a legend at that club. Like I remember hearing stories about I forgot who said it. Was it Ronaldo or something? They were taking a stadium tour of the ground, and someone just pointed out David Beckham, and he was just like, "Yeah, he was all right for us. It was pretty decent." The man is David Beckham. That's how high the standard is at Real Madrid. Chelsea, I'm not saying our standards are low or anything like that, but it's easier to become a legend at Chelsea because we're still making our own history. With him, if he pulled out for about the space of 4 to 5 years, we won a few Premier League titles, maybe another Champions League, a couple domestic trophies here and there, and he was a driving force behind that, he would already be a Chelsea legend in my eyes. And I think he'd be a Chelsea legend in everyone's eyes if he reaches the potential that everyone's saying he could be at. If he did that in the Premier League, he would be a legend at this club. And he'd be remembered forever. So I think that could hold an extra factor to him as well. But that's also just speculation. I really can't look too much into it. Artem with the donation again. Much appreciated. My guy said, I know Dortmund want to make Champions League, but wouldn't they make more money by selling Haaland? When they make more money by selling Haaland, double his release clause price to summer, which is more than Champions League. Unless Dortmund win the Champions League, they won't make as much. So they stand to make more off selling Haaland this summer than they would do next summer, regardless of whether they make Champions League money, unless they win the entire tournament. I agree with you on that. That's why I think the only way this wouldn't happen this summer, I think, is if Jadon Sancho left first. But I don't really think Jadon Sancho leaves either, because the only club really interested in him is Manchester United, and they bottled it last year, so they are forming doing that again and trying to be stingy. So I wouldn't expect them to turn around and do the exact same thing. If we put a £150 million offer on the table, or player plus cash relevant to that sort of fee, we would get our man, because I think Borussia Dortmund wouldn't say no to that. It's the same thing with Inter Milan and Lukaku, where I'm saying, you put the right bid for them, they will say yes, because they do need the money as well. We were saying yesterday about how they've suffered so much without the money from fans coming into grounds, because they rely on that so much more than we would do as a Premier League side, because we have top 4 money, we have Champions League winners money, we also have half the stadium size of Borussia Dortmund too. So it does really impact us the same. Plus, we've been riding off the transfer ban money last season, so we still have the money we earned from last season in our reserves as well. So we have the money to make this deal if we really wanted to. It's just same thing I said with Lukaku. Do we have the balls to make the move? Yes or no?
Well, and if we spend our whole transfer kitty on Haaland, something Wayne said was sticking with me. And you think about a player like Bakayoko, that fits the 6 pretty well, right?
Kind of.
We've been talking about Tukameni and other, if in a stretch, if we needed to.
Tchouaméni, I would take, but I also think there's a case where he'd have to be blended into a squad as well. Like, we have to take into account the guy's 21 years of age. We're talking about experience. Like, I like Tchouaméni, but I'm also going to say he's a bit hypocritical if I'm here talking about getting experience and say, let's get a 21-year-old in DM.
Right.
No,
I put the StreamYard link in the chat as well. Hop in,
bro. That being said, I think too, if we do get Muriel and Tchouaméni, he's going to be surrounded by players with experience at the end of the day. I think where we need experience is our front line. Everywhere else in our squad is quite experienced at the end of the day. So I think if we do get a Tchouaméni or Declan Rice, they'll fit quite perfectly into the team, because they're going to have literally Kante or Jorginho or Kovacic holding their hands throughout the first season. But on the flip side, if you look at it from a centre forward perspective, apart from Ziyech and maybe Werner, there's not really much experience in that front line. So I think it's more paramount to get an experienced frontline player, and compared to like a centre midfielder.
I know what you're saying, guys, but I'm going to be honest with you. Haaland's a deal that cannot be missed. He's one in a million. I know what you're saying, but how many times have Chelsea been in a reckoning of buying a genuine talent like him. We've never been in this position before, so why would we turn it down? And we've got, like you said, about the project as well. And I know we've got signed Giroud, sign a new deal. Don't be surprised if he goes. Don't be surprised
I'm not
if
surprised if
he's
he does.
leaving.
It's to make a bit more money.
Yeah,
it's just for
that's
the
why
value.
they're signing a new contract to get more money for it, because they know they can do that. They're able to let him go now for money, not for free. And there's a lot of deals going to be happening. Like I said, there's a lot of surprises going to be coming in and out of the club. So let's not be surprised what could happen. But I tell you now, I know the number one target and the main target Tuchel wants, he's demanded when he signed that new contract, is Haaland. And Abramovich was admitted that he has to play he wants at Chelsea.
Abramovich said that apparently months ago, like this number one target for a striker is Haaland. He really wants him to bring him to the club. It'd be a huge signing, but I would like a Lukaku still, because Lukaku, he just has that experience, and I feel like we know what we're definitely getting with Lukaku goals wise and stuff if he does come back to Premier League. With Haaland, it's gonna be a risky one, but he's definitely gonna be a signing we can't miss too. Just get either, I would say. Get either.
Yo, Lewis, how are you?
Yo, man, I'm good. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at Haaland's profile, and he stays at clubs like maximum 2-3 years. So he's not going to stay with us for 5 years. So I don't understand this 10-year project thing when in his career he stays at a club max 3 years.
But how does that follow that because he's done?
How many clubs have he done that?
He stayed at Malmo for 2 years. He stayed at Salzburg for 2 years. His release clause kicks in next year. So at Dortmund, he'll stay at he's been there for a year and a half. So at Dortmund, he'll stay there for 2.5 years. So when we buy him, how do we know he's going to stay for max 4 or 5 years? How do you
Most
know
of those clubs ain't a big club though.
So
they're all
Dortmund's
feeder clubs.
Dortmund's not
Except
a
for
big club.
Dortmund.
They're a big feeder club.
I wouldn't say it's too much of a pattern
Dortmund
right
feed a
now.
lot of teams. I don't think they're any different to Leicester.
Because right now it's just a trip up to the top. That's the
Same
thing.
energy.
When you're at Chelsea, you're at one of the top clubs in the world. So I do think there's an opportunity that he would stay. It's just, is the club serious? Because my biggest worry is we win the league and we become complacent the same way we always do. That's what held us back for 5 years, and we're only just now getting to the point where we were at before.
And say if he doesn't meet expectations, and it's like a Pogba situation at Man U. Pogba's been there for 4 or 5 years, and he's won nothing with them, and he's probably going to leave on a free next year. So I can see Haaland 4 or 5 years time leave on a free because his agent's Viola. Viola's doing it with Pogba. He's doing it with Donnarumma.
Did that happen
I think
to
it's just a
Lukaku?
waste of money. Sorry?
Did that happen to Lukaku though?
Didn't Lukaku drop Nina Riola?
No, but he had him with United though, and they sold him for 77 million. With Viola, and then he went, didn't he?
I'm not sure when he dropped Viola, but yeah, I mean, Lukaku at Man U, he wasn't
How
in
many
the
years
plan.
Lukaku stayed the most club? That was Everton, where he stayed for about 4 years.
4 years.
He did the loan deal.
Yeah.
Around.
I mean, and he says he's happy at Inter, so he is a very loyal person. So if he were to get him, I think he'd end his career at Chelsea. I mean, he'd go to Anderlecht at the end, but I could see him staying 6-7 years at Chelsea, which is what we need.
Right, but Lukaku's the more stable option, less risk for sure.
Yeah.
But I would say less potential upside as well. So the real question is, do we want to make that? Okay, less potential upside in the medium to long term. So short term, more upside. Yeah, but it's about profile. So we're looking at the profile, right? I got a young player who's going to be able to play X amount of years, assuming we can keep him. That's the assumption we have to make. But I can win how many trophies in 10 years versus I've got Lukaku at 28. He's probably going to tap out in 4 years, probably max, with his game, his game style. So 4 or 5 years, we'll be generous, 5 years. So, we're paying similar money. And yeah, I'm going to have short-term guaranteed success, and I'm totally like Lukaku, and I would be happy with him. But the argument for Haaland would be, okay, yeah, I might have potential comparative downside in the first year, but then my like 5 to 10 year picture looks really good.
Yeah,
but I don't think he stays. I don't think he stays for 5 years. I mean, look at his agent. He's not going to stay for more than.
And it's a risk for sure.
Yeah. So we shouldn't take that risk.
Yeah.
No, and I might agree with you. I'm just saying, like, that's the argument for Haaland.
There'll be a Haaland saga every single year as long as.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I mean, look at Paul Pogba. I think Paul Pogba's a talented dude, but
if he wins trophies with Chelsea, it won't be a big issue. The problem with Paul Pogba, he ain't winning anything serious.
He's the new Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Whether he wins or not, he's gonna leave in a couple of years. He's gonna be a mercenary. I mean, whether you like it or not,
stay with the top payer.
Man U paid 80-something million plus 20 million to Viola for Paul Pogba, and what's he won? A Europa League.
I can
see Haaland coming for 150
around him.
Can I chime in, guys?
Yeah, go for it, Mark.
And first of all, good afternoon to you all. And I was trying to listen as much as I could there and actually see where the conversation led up to. I think, Michael, yeah, you're making some points that I think are very valid, but also at the same time aren't relevant to the way our club is run and the way the project at Man United is going currently. Because when you look at Man United hasn't been relevant for so long. They're not really in a place to be able to compete and actually say to players now that we are here to win trophies, because in reality, the club isn't really set up in that way at the moment to actually compete for a long term. They have a manager that is inexperienced. They haven't really done a good job of replacing Alex Ferguson that put them in the place that they were at before. And as for Haaland, I think for me, the biggest issue that we have with Haaland isn't necessarily the fact that it's going to be
difficult. Guys, I'll be right back. Hold on.
No worries. And as for like Haaland, I think the biggest issue we'll have is he will break the wage structure at Chelsea. And what the club may need to ask themselves is this going to be a worth it for us? Because what that has is a ripple effect in terms of what the other players will then demand in order for them to be compensated correctly. Because they're going to see Haaland come in, and if he's on $500,000 a week, they're not going to look at that lightly and then demand, oh yeah, I'm okay with 150K, especially if they feel like they contribute significantly to the club, or they've been loyal, or they've done this many years at the club, etc. The reason why I'm not as worried about Haaland once we get him in is because if we were able to get Eden Hazard and keep him for as long as we did, to me, that's already a good sign of something that can be done correctly. If you can make sure that obviously he's winning trophies, like Chris said. And for me, as long as we're winning trophies, as long as we're paying him the correct money that he's worth, we should be able to keep him for a longer period of time. And understand before we even sign him that at one point there may be that opportunity that might pipe in for him. He might want to go to a Real Madrid, but then we put the situation in there for us to be able to make money like we did with Eden Hazard. So regardless, we walk out winners, because if, say, for example, we sign him for 150 million now, and later on he's on his last year of his contract and we sell him still for 100 mil, 120 mil, 30 million loss is not the worst case scenario in the world. I'll be very honest with you.
I mean, to me it is.
Oh no! I'll be real, Mohammed. If we made a loss on prime Erling Haaland, that's on us. That's a
loss.
Come on, hey guys, let's give us some credit here, man. We won't take a loss on fucking Haaland in his prime.
No, I don't think so. I'm saying in itself, if we were to, that's still a massive L on our side.
We won't.
I reckon we could stand for Haaland 1 year left. Look at Mbappe, he's got 1 year left, and how much is he going for?
But look, can I just quickly say something? Because Mo's brought up something. The board actually agreed with Tuchel and Abramovich for the signing. They've all given it a green light. They all want him no matter what.
Yeah.
So that is done. That
wait. So they're cool. They're cool with paying me and Ariola 20 million and Erling Haaland's dad 20 million.
The only issue that words they come up with to me was the only issue. The only issue with this deal is the devil. That words they come up with to me. That's the only issue. They said the player is not an issue. Agreeing in terms with.
Dortmund isn't.
Dortmund isn't the issue. They really said.
I think they are. Because look, They are in a strong position.
Honest to God,
Wayne, they're not going to budge on their. Look, they didn't budge on Jadon Sancho. They didn't budge.
They didn't budge
They
on
wanted to leave
Lewandowski.
next year. They wanted 120 million
What do
euros.
you mean they didn't budge on Lewandowski? He left
They let
for
him go
free,
on a
man.
free.
So we'll pay
Exactly.
They
They let
did.
him go on a
I
free.
mean, currently in this current situation, currently in the past couple of years, as in like this year and last year, they're not going to budge. Either you pay up or you shut up. That's what.
So we'll pay up.
Abramovich is going to pay up or he's going to walk away. That is it. They're not going to budge.
But this is what I'm trying to say to you. Abramovich really said months ago that he wants Haaland at Chelsea no matter what in the next 5 years. He didn't expect us to win the Champions League straight away. We've won that Champions League. We're the ones in all the countries in Europe have got the most. All the big teams have got the most money.
We've got
can
the chips,
afford
boy.
this player. So we've gone out and said, right, that's it. We're signing our best player. We're going to make a statement, and we're going to fill the void that what we need in the team. And that's just we've all got to accept that. There's no ifs and buts and what about this, about that. At the end of the day, they've all agreed to it. This is what I've been told, and I'm not lying. I'm not doing this for stun. I'm doing this because I'm being honest with you guys. This is the way they want to go. They want to be the best team in this damn universe again. They want to sign all the best players. They want to be in the Glasgow. They want to be the best team that whips everyone by a mile.
And can I add to that? Can I add to that? Yeah.
Go on, Johnny.
Go for it. Go for it.
So I'm because obviously big up everyone, big up Lewis, everyone in the chat, like and subscribe,
Johnny.
all that jazz. Listen, the way I look at it, everyone's kind of worried about the wage demands and this and that, but the bottom line is whether he goes to another club or he goes to Real Madrid next season or whatever, he ain't going to get more than, they might ask for 350 grand. You think those clubs are going to pay that wage structure, and they won't. I think the only club that would be a PSG, because they're just idiots and they just don't care about money. But aside from that, the guy that reported it today, Jan, Jortwolf, however you pronounce him, he said in I think it was back in earlier. I think it was even earlier this year. He said that Erling Haaland, he will be looking to move to he wants to sort of play in the Premiership. I think secretly that he does want to come to the Premiership, and I think because we've won the Champions League, we are in the prime position to get a Haaland. And it's the same. It's like I said to you back before we won the Champions League. I said if we win the Champions League, it changes our whole transfer strategy. Because if we didn't win, we probably would have gone for Lukaku and pushed that. But now we've won it. Haaland is definitely the target, and we can get him. Abramovich will spend the money if he wants that player. He would, like he did with Torres. We've seen it before. He's got the money to spend. It's like we're not short of change. We get Haaland. That is for us. That's the final piece to the jigsaw puzzle in actually completing our team for the next 8 years. So I agree. I fully trust Wayne. Your sources are pretty. They were saying Lukaku, but that was before we won the Champions League. We won the Champions League now. It changes the whole dynamics. And we can still go and get a Tchouaméni for 30, 40 million, all right, and get a DM who's talented and recommended by Fabregas and all that. And then we might look to a centre-back in a Varane, and we're still within budget.
No, we're not.
Why are we not within budget?
It's 150 million plus 20 million.
No. You
are talking about rumors, man. Where does 20 million for Raiola coming from?
Where do you get the money from, bro?
Listen,
Can I ask?
We actually gained over 300 million just about the season.
No. Where did Michael get this figures from?
Because his dad is his agent, and then Raiola's his consultant. So. And the price for Raiola weight
the numbers from?
Yeah, where do you get the numbers?
I mean, you could search it up. It's Raiola's agent. It's always 20 million.
And we don't know this as factual information, right?
But it is factual because Raiola always has a
Raiola agent fee. One sec.
You're right. He's gonna have even if he has an agent fee, right? Don't think for 1 second the Iron Lady, She's gonna do some serious shithousery, bruv. She's gonna put Raiola in a split.
And that's why the Lukaku deal didn't work out the first time. because of Rayola's agent fees.
Hey, can I ask a question? Sorry, yeah, but Lukaku isn't a Haaland.
Raiola pocketed 25 million euros from the Pogba transfer. I've got that.
I knew that.
We ain't Man United,
included
man.
in the transfer fee, or is that besides?
No, it's not included. So Pogba went for
the Sun's reporting Raiola will demand 12 million in agent fees for Haaland.
What about his dad as well?
I'm hearing 50 million euros.
Yeah, so
everyone's throwing around figures basically.
So even
it's just vibes. It's just vibes, man.
Even if it's 30, even if it's 30 million, argument's sake, I'm sure they can wash some money under the table, man. Don't worry about agent fees.
Yeah, man.
The main thing is, is the actual price tag of the player to Dortmund. That's the main thing. Now, if they can get that for 110, 15 million sterling, that's sterling. Yeah,
I'm seeing 172 quarters.
Then you're going to pay the agent fees. You're still going to be under 150 million. All right.
Yeah.
Then you can go and get a Tchouaméni for 35 million. Yeah. And then a Varane is a free agent, bruv. He's got no. It's just wages. No. Why is he not? He's not.
It's 40 million.
He's not signing a contract.
He said if we get Haaland, that will cement our team for the next 8 years. There's no way Haaland's going to stay here for 8 years.
Yeah,
why not?
Why not?
No way.
Mulder, he stayed at
doesn't make sense.
For 2 years.
Well, how old is he? He's 20.
I think
he's
20. Eden Hazard for 7+ years, so
he's not going to stay for 8 years.
He's 20
you have
years
to be
old,
realistic, Johnny. You got to be realistic.
If we're winning, why wouldn't he stay?
Why would he go? Listen, hear me out. If we're going to go and win more Champions Leagues, Premiership titles, where's he going to go, bruv? He's winning.
I don't think we win Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues with Haaland.
You know, playing
like Haaland.
This negativity.
One at a time.
No one really thought we're going to win the Champions League this year, so.
We
got the best young. Listen, we got the best young players. We got the best young players. We're gonna be a force. That's why we need Haaland. We're gonna keep getting these young players. In 3 years, we're gonna be a force. Haaland's gonna be in the best team. He's not gonna leave anyone to anyone else. You guys need some patience. You keep all this negativity about Lukaku. Hey, I'll give you something here. Lukaku has an agent as well. Wants an agent fee. Lukaku was overweight at Man United. He's got a weight problem. He's 28 years old. He had a weight problem, Man United. He admitted. That's how he improved that into life. Hey, what happens if Lukaku comes back and late night kebabs and shit? Hey, I'll tell you now. You can put every negativity. Lukaku is 28 years old. He's going to be out of his peak when our players hit their peak.
Look at Salah.
He's 28 years old.
Hey, breaking news, Medlar is confirming it too, man.
Lukaku wouldn't just come to England and go to the chicken shop for some wings. I ain't gonna run like that. That's how Manchester United let him move.
He isn't Lewis.
That's Mourinho. That's the way they built him. They put him on that diet plan. We wouldn't do the same. That's why he slimmed down under Conte.
Look,
and he's not going to be on that diet plan when he comes back.
Lewis, the way I look at it, at the end of the day, and going back to Wayne, if Tuchel has agreed with Roman and the board that Haaland is the guy that he wants, and they all agree, then forget Lukaku, forget Kane, forget Martinez. This is the guy we're going for. And right now, there is not one club in Europe that has the bollocks to outbid us and put money on the table.
Yeah, man.
That Law's just tweeted about
Johnny, you mean you haven't got the minerals?
They've got no minerals. We got all the minerals that are needed. We got that. We got those silver minerals from the Champions League trophy. They sprinkler a little sprinkler all over Haaland's dad and Raiola. They've gone. We want to be part of that. We want to be part of Havertz. We want to be part of Mount. We want to be part of Werner and Pulisic.
Hey, did Michael say some of you guys forgot the Champions League? Did Michael say we got lucky in the Champions League?
With the manager, imagine if Frank Lampard was doing well in January, he'd still be manager.
Frankie Lampard would have still taken us to Porto and won the Champions League. Let's go.
Yeah, he would have. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Come on, man.
Bro, we're the kings of Europe, and you guys are trying to bring it down. Hey, some of you guys all forgot. Now that COVID financial fair play has relaxed, this is time to spend money.
There is no
time to spend money. There is none. This is the time to spend money. Don't worry about it. You guys are
We
trying to
got
budget.
really,
You guys are putting on little budgets and shit. This is the
we got
time to
really
spend
lucky
money.
with top four.
But bro, you gotta be realistic, man. We're not living.
We won the Champions League.
Yeah, but
No,
still, if
but
Leicester
let's
beat
be
Tottenham,
honest.
It's a buyer's
we
market, bro.
win
It's time.
Buying Haaland for Chelsea after winning Champions League is a serious statement to the whole of European football. And Roman need, like, this is his moment now. It's like, if you don't invest in a player like that, it's like you're not really serious about challenging, like dominating for the next 8 to 10 years of European football, of trying to win Champions Leagues. If you just go and buy
because Fabrizio tweeted as well,
and he liked
Not
the tweet.
that I'm aware
He liked
of.
the tweet.
I've seen Matt Law's tweet. I just put it up on the share screen now, but it hasn't really said too much on it.
This is the moment, and also it's the same deal like Havertz opportunity. Like Bayern Munich wanted Havertz to wait one more year, and then they would strike and then come in for him. Again, Bayern Munich supposedly want another year because they know that Lewandowski's still in their plan, still in the side. So Haaland's not going to just put Lewandowski on the bench. So they're not in a position right now. Chelsea are in a position to. Arsenal, Man United don't have a Champions League. They haven't won fuck all with Oli for the last 4 years.
Yeah, they can go back to the Arsenal.
They've got no backbone, no project. Even Rola's trying to get Pogba out. So United are out. City, I just don't see City spending that money. And at the end of the day, Guardiola's going to leave in a year's time. Let's have it right. So Haaland's best opportunity is to come to London, the capital of the UK, play under an elite manager who's just bagged the Champions League, is going to challenge for the titles, and then he can move eventually once Real Madrid have actually, well, if they ever sort their shit out and stop the Super League bullshit and actually sort of try and rebuild, because they're going to need a lot of rebuilding, man. They've got a lot of old players to move on, and that's not going to be easy with the wages.
Can I say something?
Johnny, I'm going to say Mbappe is going to be going to Real Madrid before Haaland.
Right, can I just say something?
Yeah.
Right, and I want to
one sec. Wayne, we're going to get... Christopher says, even if Haaland wants to leave later, there aren't many teams that will pay over £150 million to take him from us. And like we said, with financial fair play being lax, and with the amount of money that we've made this season and last, wouldn't even be that far out to say that we would be able to make this sort of deal happen. But Wayne, go on. What were you going to say, bro?
Right. Well, you on about Haaland not staying for us for a long period of time, and we have to behave, and it's waste of money, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's be honest. 2012, when we won Champions League, right, he came out and said, I'm going to buy the best players. Went for Hazard. And everyone said, at that time, no way. He ain't going to Chelsea because Real Madrid was going for him. Barcelona wanted him. PSG wanted him. All the big sides say, yeah, we want him. And we got told, no, we're never going to sign him.
And then he tweeted out,
what do you say, Wayne?
And he came to Chelsea, signed for Chelsea, and said he rejected all the big sides of Chelsea because they won the Champions League. And he felt there was a future there. And he stayed with us for how many years?
And the sad thing is, he didn't win the Champions League with us.
He maybe did it. That may be a sad thing. But to be honest, that's what Haaland will see as well. Haaland will see us. We just won the Champions League. He won a future.
He joins,
and he'll spend that
4,
future
5
with
years,
us
6, 7
to
years,
win us things. And this year, we're better prepared than we was in 2012.
We are.
So
he's going to tweet and join Champions League winners.
And the talent we got Kai Havertz. Don't let that go under the radar of Haaland, because Kai Havertz is as equal Ballon d'Or worthy will be as Haaland will be. And
don't get Mount.
Mount. But if Kante, let's say Kante wins the Euros, and I think he's got a shout for Ballon d'Or, we could have our first Ballon d'Or at Chelsea. You know, it's a big statement to say.
My guy, bro, we already have our first Ballon d'Or winner.
Man, come on, man.
Let's
go.
The
warden.
Oh my God.
Was that, you need to put Kante there.
I thought you were going to put the Bosnia one up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what was that about? Why Bosnia?
The 2-0 clean sheet in a friendly yesterday.
But let's have it right. If Mount wins the Euros, he's got to win Ballon d'Or, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the point is Haaland or Havertz or Mount can win Ballon d'Or at Chelsea. and that is all you need to know, because under Tuchel, like, he's proven, man, that you give him what he wants, and he sorts out our squad. He moves about a few players here and there, gets rid of what he doesn't want, brings in what he does want. We are going to be some serious side. We already are a serious side, but what I'm saying is
domination is the word. Domination.
Yeah.
Not even domination. It's more like back in the day when we had Drogba and we had Lampard or Costa, defenses and teams feared us so badly, and we haven't had that fear factor up front. So we've sorted defense, but up front, if we got that fear factor and every team fears playing against us, well, the world's ours, man. Scarface. It's
Johnny. Us. You know what I've been craving for? I think we hit that peak too late. You know what I mean? Like the players were a bit older. They were right in their peak, maybe closer to 30. We didn't enjoy it as much. I'm craving for this now because we're going to enjoy it for a way longer time. When I say domination, it's a dynasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine we get like Rice as well, and eventually you start getting these young players that are all under 24.
Can I just say,
doesn't matter.
on the age thing as well, like everyone says, we want experience. Well, our young kids have won a Champions League. They've won it. So that
doesn't mean they have experience. It
does. It does.
It doesn't.
By definition, that is experience.
I'm gonna say I do want experience as well. I do want it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Haaland's not experienced in winning it. He hasn't won it. So you're bringing in Haaland. Everyone's cool with that. Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is our backbone of our team, right? The Havertz, the Mounts, the Jorginhos, exclude Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Thiago Silva now. We've got experience in our side, yeah? And they've all won the Champions League, all right? When you're talking about Premiership, none of us have won Premiership. Aspi has, right? So, you've got a few and Zuma, but that's it. So Premiership-wise, yes. But anyone you bring in ain't going to have that experience anyway. So all this experience talk is... what? When's he won the? He won the Premiership, but that's not Premiership. I'm talking about Premiership experience.
League title.
No one's got Premiership experience. But when you say Champions League experience, we've already got that. Any player you bring in, cool. Unless they're from Real Madrid and they've won it in the last 5-6 years, like a Varane, yeah, cool. I'm down. But if you're looking for a striker right now, Kane ain't got the experience in Champions League final winning it. He's won nothing. All right, Lukaku's not won the Champions League final. All right, and
Haaland has won the DFB Pokal. Literally,
Haaland is potential, bro. He's potential. He's got resale value.
Lukaku's won trophies, though. He's won trophies.
He's a whole
brand. Just won a league by himself, basically.
Yeah, but the importance of getting Haaland.
He helped Inter massively.
Everyone who says experience is talking about experience in Premiership and Champions League. Well, we've already got the Champions League experience. Premiership
what about
experience.
Serie A?
All our young kids have played Premiership two seasons now. They're going into their third season. That's all the experience you need. And our Jameses and all the young kids will bring him in. Don't worry, they'll show him the minerals about the Premiership and what it's about. But Champions League, we've won it. We're good. We're gonna push on from that. And we've got a manager now who's bagged the CL. He's bagged it. He's reached his personal target of winning a CL. So now he wants to win the Premiership. And that's the target.
Can we talk about these Dortmund players and like how none of them, apart from like Lewandowski, has actually been successful? If you look at Mkhitaryan, flopped. Kagawa, flopped. Götze, flopped. Aubameyang, flopped.
What?
Is there any more?
Oh,
Aubameyang's only won. Aubameyang's only won the FA Cup.
Where? Where has he flopped?
At Arsenal. What's he done? He
Agenda happy run. Flop.
Hey, this guy is
fucking. If he flopped, why did he get golden boots then?
Hey, Marco, are you a plan?
Want to know why? Because Agenda doesn't take facts into account. It just agendas.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even finished his career at Arsenal. So how good is he really?
He's been getting golden boots, so he's clearly doing something, right?
Forget Aubameyang, bro. Forget Aubameyang.
But you say but I don't want to hear Aubameyang slander like that. He's a good player, very good player.
He's a good player, but he's at a dead club, and all he cares about is his wages. Have it right. That's all he cares
Don't
about.
Haaland care about wages if he wants like 500k?
No. Haaland wants to.
Haaland
wants to be the best player in the world. He's got that. He's got that mentality. He wants to be that Ballon d'Or, and he knows he can do it. And whether he's at Chelsea or not, he will achieve it, bro. At Chelsea, he can win Ballon d'Or. He can be Golden Boot and take over Harry Kane. He's hungry, but he's got mentality.
Starving.
He's got.
Sorry, Johnny, wasn't Immobile at Dortmund as well?
What's that?
Yeah, but he's not at Dortmund, man. Immobile is complete ass.
Yeah, Gundogan. I don't know where Miguel got these stats from. Are you trying to make a gender?
I mean, what?
Yeah,
so
man.
You're saying Mkhitaryan's a good player. Kagawa,
Listen.
all
You're
these
cherry
players
picking,
at
mate.
Dortmund. No, it's not really.
You know what the problem is? Let me tell you.
The
Difference between me and Johnny here and the rest of you guys, because I get you guys are young, but you don't you missed out the Man United dynasty and the Arsenal and that.
I was
Man
there
United.
for that.
All right, sorry.
I was
a bad assumption.
Wayne
you guys were there,
mate. Well, trust me.
and you
I was there
remember.
early 2000s watching.
Remember Man United and the young players, right? And what that did for Man United. 2 decades of domination.
We're talking about when we got dominated by Arsenal and United, man. We got dominated. Always got battered. This is our time.
What I'm talking about, Johnny, what I'm talking about is these young players that have.
While we were winning back-to-back titles, Manchester United were transitioning, and they were bringing their youth players into the squad as well. So I hear what you're saying. I wasn't really around for anything further back to them, but I understand what you mean in terms of build the youth, and then you have like the fucking foundations to build a dynasty for the next 5 to 6 years. It's right there in front of us.
Yeah, you're building. You'll know with the Giggs, Nevilles, and all that, right? That came from the start, and they'll criticize, and that was without. That's from the academy. We're buying the best, so we're doing it way better. But that foundation built 2 decades of domination, brought all their trophies and everything. That's what we're doing here. You guys want quick. We've got no patience at Chelsea, but I've been craving for this, and now we have the opportunity.
And that's why I was saying to you lot, or the I call the immediacies in the fan base. When Lampard came in, he laid the foundations, the important foundations, because he brought through 3 absolute key players for the next 10 years of our club.
Only one of the players was his signing that he wanted. Chilwell.
We're not talking about that, Michael. We're talking about Reece James.
You're missing the point. The bottom line is we're building an actual backbone, a real backbone, a core in our team that we've lacked since Lampard, Terry, and Drogba all left. We've struggled to replace that, and that's why Sir Alex Ferguson is the GOAT. Is the GOAT because he knew how to take out the players that are how to replace not dead wood, but the best way to transition the winning side to the next winning side, and he's done it 3 times. He's changed the team. And
his coaches as well, helping Johnny there, and that's how Man United was to come.
Breaking up.
Yeah, Johnny's breaking up.
But this is like there's some people in the comments saying that things like we're Lampard lovers and stuff. It's just an acknowledgement of something he's done here. It's not about being a Lampard lover here. It's what he's actually accomplished by doing that for us. It's put us in a place where we can start competing for big players and say, you know what? We're going to put this money on the table because we know it completes this part of the jigsaw puzzle. And for us, we've not really been in a position to do that. The reason, for example, I was saying something to Kozilla earlier on about, Haaland potentially leaving and stuff. For me, honestly speaking, I don't think Eden Hazard would have left had we actually done a good job in the 7 years that we had him in giving him a squad that actually he can compete with consistently. We've always kept on doing the things that made it so difficult for him. There was one season, I'll give the team credit, where they got Fabregas, where they got Diego Costa, etc. But even then, for me, it was all part of that little system. It didn't necessarily get the best out of Eden Hazard. I feel like what we need to do,
Virgil van Dijk?
but what we need to do for going forward, though, for me, is what Johnny is saying. Is now that we have this academy players coming through, and there's plenty more for us to actually make even better and actually develop under this coach who can clearly see what we have here. You then add a Haaland, you add these other players that are missing that we can't necessarily get through the academy. Bro, we're actually having a laugh. It will be a dominance because it's been proven when Man United has done it, when flipping and Barcelona have done it, when any team has done something like this, it's been a sustainable model that works. For me, what I'm done with is every year buy this player because he's going to be the one carrying us to the title. It's not a sustainable model. And we're putting far too much pressure on players to come in and have to do this thing that is like amazing to win the league title. But the problem is people forget these players are coming from leagues that are usually pretty much dominated by one or two teams. So coming,
do you realize?
Yeah, but Mo, you're missing. You're missing the point. You're missing the point that our new signings have had a season under their belt in the most difficult season ever in the history of football. Secondly, the young gems are youth players and our young players they've had 2 full seasons now. All right, so they've already got experience. Now we've won a Champions League with this group already. So they're all united. We've got a fantastic manager. All you're bringing is maybe 1 or 2 players. You're not adding 6, 7 like we did last summer. So it's gonna be a lot easier for a Haaland to come in. But don't think that we're just gonna depend on Haaland. Like we're gonna have our other players. They're all gonna be turning up. Trust me. They're all going to take a lot of the weight off Haaland to help him settle in. I'm not worried about
it. When you spend 150 million, you can't really bench that, can you?
Yeah, but it's not benching it. No one's benching it.
You can justify it, though.
Can I just say something? I really want to say something, please, guys. Can I say something? All right?
Yeah, go for it.
Michael, I'm listening to you, and there's something I need to say. What do you think PSG fans said when they signed Neymar? Do you think they said what you're saying? No, he's wasted money. Don't sign him. Or do you think they say, yes, we want him as a world-class player, same as Mbappe. Let's get him world-class player. Let's add
they
to
wanted
our
the
team.
Champions
Let's
League
do
and they
that.
haven't done it.
Well, maybe they haven't done it. What is the point what I'm trying to get in? If we get in Haaland and we get in this generation talent, that are not many of them about at the moment, in that level, why are we going to waste our opportunity and not buy him?
One amazing season.
All right, say that with Havertz then. Say that. Say the same thing about Havertz then. Why is the logic and the agenda changed when last year Havertz only turned up in the second half of the season, right? Is that right? Yeah, and we paid 80 million for this kid, all right? And the guy's gone and bagged the Champions League final winner, right? So Haaland coming in, I ain't worried about it, bruv. Don't be naive and young, bruv. Actually,
Johnny, he's waffling, man.
Yo, but Johnny,
I reckon you guys would have said the same thing about Timo Werner.
No. I back Werner.
Look at my
picture. From day one, and I back him still, Werner's going to come good. But you lot, all the young generation, sad to say,
Hey, John, don't put me there.
You're looking.
Hey, Johnny,
you're too immediacy, man. You're all immediacy.
It's not immediacy, though. It's not immediacy.
Yes, it is. If
Werner doesn't,
spending 150
you lot coming down on Werner.
Listen,
you lot coming down on Werner when Werner's fucking running the final, allowed us to score the winning goal. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep. Right. So
Werner was actually crucial in the Champions League.
When you come at Werner for the whole season. His all-round game has been fantastic and allows us to play a certain way, which we haven't had since Hazard left. So,
but Johnny, I think we can say,
don't come at Werner just because he ain't scored goals. The goals will come, bro. But listen, don't fucking wind me up, bro. Don't wind me up, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Werner is not a fucking number 9. He's not Haaland's profile striker. He's not a
I wish he was.
Yeah, but he ain't that striker, bruv. So don't.
He was never that type of striker.
But, Johnny, we can say that there are risks. Yo, Johnny, we can say there.
How can
Yeah, we can say there are risks with taking Haaland, man. We can say there are risks. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's risk with Lukaku as well.
But we back ourselves, man. We back ourselves to get it done.
Every play, there's a risk.
Exactly. I agree. But we should acknowledge those things, and then we say we can actually do it.
Right. So, like I said to everyone, every troll out there, I'll call you a troll, bruv, because you're a troll. Every troll out there, all right?
Tell him.
We took the same fucking risk. Hold on. The same risk we took with Havertz, we will take with fucking Haaland. But I tell you what, it's a damn good risk to take because there ain't no strikers out there. There ain't no strikers
there we
out
go.
there.
Hey, Drogba didn't have a first good
Kane,
season.
There's Lukaku.
Exactly.
There's Benzema. There's Lewandowski.
Bro,
There's
I think,
Aubameyang.
Yeah, but we're going to acknowledge all the risks you can bring up, bro. We're going to acknowledge all those risks, and we're going to say we're okay with it. We're going to back ourselves. We're taking Haaland.
These are top strikers that can win us the
I'll lay it down for you, man.
Hey, I don't think they have the minerals, mate.
Mikey,
No, people
you
are
a
glory
fucking
hunters.
clown,
You're
my
spitting
friend.
facts, bro.
You just got Aubameyang a flop 10 minutes ago, and now you're
I'm saying because he came from Dortmund.
What are you even talking about?
Exactly. Whoever called Aubameyang a
He's only won a couple goal scorers.
Wait, he
Bro, at the end of the day,
And
bro, we're
then,
crying about Lukaku.
then you're turning around 10 minutes
bro,
later
at the
and
end of the
saying
day, we're gonna get a dream striker, bro. We're gonna get a good striker.
Yeah, he's still a
Exactly.
I mean, from Dortmund to Arsenal to not finish fourth and only win an FA Cup. That's
Who gives a fuck about Arsenal, bruv? Look at the club he's gone to, bruv. If Aubameyang came to Chelsea, he would have backed goals, bruv. He would have backed goals, but he went to a
Giroud came over. Look what happened.
He went to the club. They don't even spend fucking. They don't even spend 20 pence, bro.
Mike, it's porno.
Crying out loud. Aubameyang is a has-been, bro.
Easy, Johnny. Breathe, bro. Breathe.
If it comes to Chelsea right now,
don't let him wind you up.
I can't.
Hey, you guys better lick the ground with all that minerals Johnny's
spitting.
spitting.
About fucking minerals and Haaland, bruv, and Mason Mount.
I'm with you, bro, Johnny. I'm with you.
You know what?
Johnny,
Mason Mount's going to bag about 20 assists,
Johnny,
bruv. He's going to bag 20 assists.
Johnny,
Yo, Wayne, what's happening?
Breathe.
Wayne's a go, bruv. Wayne's a go,
Breathe
bruv.
in,
need to breathe a little bit.
breathe in, breathe out.
Where's Lewis, my guy, man? Where's Lewis, my guy, bruv?
Let's not try. How did we get all the way back into Mason Mount then? How did that happen?
It was
all of you, man. All of you, they can't let Mason Mount. You're all in the fucking mud now. You're all in the deep of the earth, bro.
Johnny, I'm not gonna lie. Johnny, I hated Mason Mount.
Reload it. Let's
Oh no.
Reload that shit, bruv. He's got everyone in the penitentiary. Foden ain't got the minerals. Madison, Grealish, Sancho, all of them, bruv. Modric, Casemiro, Kroos. Where are they, bruv? They're in the Mason Mount penitentiary.
Mason Mount's really surprised.
There we go. There we go.
Cream rises to the top, baby. Let's go.
Johnny, can we breathe now?
Yeah, I'm going to take a breather. I'll let you lot spray the sprinklers, man, because Johnny's over breathing.
Johnny caught some minerals there.
I'm clapping you.
I got water, bro. Fuck you.
I tell you what, me and you, Johnny, we're soulmates in real life. You know that. Me and you, because I can see me and you next to each other, just falling in the football.
Let's have it, bruv. Let's have it.
Hey, you guys are. I'm sure everyone's confident that Werner is going to be a lot better.
Man, support Lewis. Like and subscribe.
And tell Johnny to start putting videos up on his channel as well. Fucking hell, man.
Yes,
Johnny's minerals.
Come on, man. I want to make
you on there, Johnny. Let's have it.
You know what? Yeah, it's gonna be. Your fucking laptop will explode, bruv. That's all I'm gonna say, man. With all the minerals splurting out, man.
Oh, your mic will explode.
Oh, Jesus.
We need it. We need it.
Yeah, gas water pipes.
Yo,
man.
Guys, it's been fun, man. Take care of yourselves, yeah?
Yeah, big
Take
up,
care,
man.
man.
Fatter, jumping, because you said you wanted to get in as well. Dag
Johnny,
as well. You said
my
you
mouth
Yes,
is
yes,
hurting how much I'm smiling right now. That's what you've done to me.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Bringing the sunshine, bro. Bringing the sunshine. We're checking.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm not happy earlier, yeah? I'm not happy, yeah? I was screaming from outside, yeah? I was screaming from outside because I heard Michael slandering about my client, yeah? I'm not fucking happy, yeah? Because I know you, Michael, yeah? You've been criticizing about Werner this season. Oh, 6 goals this, 6 goals that. 12 goals in the season, fucking 15 assists, man.
Fucking up, man.
Wait, 15 assists. Are you counting penalties won?
Fatter's got them minerals today, man.
That's better than an assist, I'm sure.
Mike is a whopper, man.
Fatter's had his
penalties won.
Oh,
I'm not having a man. It's shit, fam. Jesus
Nah,
Christ.
man, Mike is
Why are we
a whopper,
talking about Werner? It's a topic saying we're talking about the transfer. Why the Werner topic to Werner? Fucking hell, man. Jesus.
He lives rent free. He lives rent free for the haters.
Monday vibes, man.
Put it on, man. It'll relax you. Put it on.
Bravo, be all right. Deep breath.
Hey, what were you doing
Do a deep
outside,
breath
bro?
for me, Bravo. Deep breath. Deep in.
Come on.
And then,
In with the nose, out with the mouth. Let's just
So
chill.
how many people would take the risk and spend 150 million on a 20-year-old?
Yeah, I would.
I would.
This one, I would.
He's the best young striker in the world. He's the
Hey,
best
Michael,
young striker in the world.
Since you like patterns and stuff, Mbappe was 160. Let's round it up to, about the same, right? Or round it down, sorry.
Yeah, he won
And
a
how did
league
that
with
work out?
Monaco. He won a league with Monaco. He won the World Cup. And then he
Real is
joined
the only
PSG.
problem, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah,
so-
He's
so
our
wait,
problem.
He went to
Is that a trusted pattern though? Since you're making all these patterns and linking stuff, Mbappe went for that money, and look how that
Yeah.
turned out. So should we make the same?
He won
transfer?
a league. He won the league with AS Monaco, and he won the World Cup. So he
He's a
justifies his
generational
price.
talent. They got him up straight away. They paid. They took the risk. They took the risk.
Haaland's had two. Sorry, I said one. He's had two solid seasons.
Oh,
Like,
he's
it's like
20,
Gareth Bale.
man. How many is he supposed to have, man? 5?
Haaland broke Champions League record
15
of goals.
What's your point?
At his
It's
age.
like Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale had two solid seasons, goes for 80 million, and doesn't really do anything.
What? Gareth?
He wins champions.
It's okay, Haaland.
How old was
Don't take a
Bale?
stroke.
This is this guy, man. His bone.
Hey, how old was Bale?
Big up.
So you can't. Bale doesn't
It's
come in the
on the
conversation.
fucking floor. It's
Bale
on the
left
floor.
that
Lewis,
team.
We'll take the
Lewis,
risk,
I gotta
and
jump
then you
off,
can just
G.
tell us all about it later.
Yes, bro. Take care.
Hey, listen, everyone,
Liga.
listen. 1 second, guys, because I've got to jump off here. Big up to everyone. Everyone in the chat, support Lewis, his channel, bro. It's lit always, man. Always lit. He's a proper goat, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's have it.
Don't
Minerals
go,
galore.
Johnny.
I've
Don't
got-
go.
Bro, love.
Love to all you, man. We'll
Big
see you
up, my
tomorrow,
guy.
yeah?
man.
Big up,
Yeah,
big up.
Johnny.
Man.
Mike is
Big up.
only here to wind people up, man.
I'm not. I'm
Yes, you are,
Donation
man.
saying, one sec, guys. One sec, guys. Artem saying PSG spent 150 million on 18-year-old Mbappe after 2 good scoring seasons in the French League and Champions League.
No,
Haaland
Haaland didn't
literally
do the
did
same
the
thing.
exact same thing right now.
No,
Very
no.
fair
Fair
point, to be honest. I
point,
didn't
He
really
didn't win a
take
league. He didn't win a league.
into account.
Bundesliga is harder than.
No, it's
Bro,
not.
is
It's a
he
much stronger
supposed
That's a
league than La
technicality,
Liga.
man.
Hey, is he
You're dodging the point.
supposed to win the league title over Bayern Munich?
Michael,
Well, I mean, it's
Haaland got
something.
top-
bro.
Performing
It shows
is a little
degree
bit
of
more.
Michael, man, you are
I'm
a
gonna jump
shows
off
degree
you
of
guys, yeah.
difficulty.
I won't even lie to you, Artem. I'd rather we go for Lukaku, but I'm warming to it a little bit more. I can hear what you're saying. A bit.
There's no problem. Whichever striker we get, we know we're going to get.
I just want a striker that can finish. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
true.
all I want.
Hey,
is
but
a
what makes you
Exactly,
think
Lewis.
that
That's what I thought.
Tuchel wants Lukaku? Because we don't play Giroud, we don't play Tammy Abraham. And I brought this point last time when you guys were Lewis might
Lukaku and
remember
Haaland
too.
are the same type of players.
Hold on, Michael. Hold on. The reason we want a striker is because Werner's flopping his chances. That's why we have this conversation. If he scored third of his chances,
Right.
we wouldn't be having this convo, right?
He'd be my
But-
favorite player.
But if Lukaku came, it would be Lukaku Werner.
Mm-hmm.
That we playing the way we play, right? So he's
Or
not. He's not.
Havertz,
He plays
or
their
Havertz.
problem.
Oh, flopping chances, give me a
No,
break.
Havertz doesn't do what Werner does.
Well, we can play 4-2-4, which is what Tuchel was playing at PSG.
So we're going to build a team around Lukaku now.
And Havertz, yeah, 4-2-4.
4-2-4.
4-2-4. Well, we are playing.
Or
We're playing 2 up
4-2-2, yeah.
front. While Maximan gets freedom role, right? So it's Werner and Havertz. Let's just say from the last game, right? That's what it is now. You put Lukaku. Lukaku's going to play where Havertz was playing, right? And Werner does. No one could, besides Pulisic, no one comes close to doing what Werner does, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why Tuchel doesn't see that as a problem. Haaland does a lot more, right?
He just runs in behind.
And so if he's not, and we just see Lukaku's Serie A because Lukaku, Man United, I didn't like him. He didn't turn up for big games. He had the worst last touch.
No, I don't care about Man United. Of course, you're going to use Man United where he didn't do well.
Bro,
he's been at Syria for the past 2 years and he's killed it.
Bro, you build your arguments on all this logic. You have to bring out Man United because that's
He
where
scored
he's proven his EPL.
113 Premier League goals. How about that?
And when did
He's already
when he got
100
to?
club.
All right, so he went from West Brom, Everton, which were teams that are ideal for him, a lot of space. When he got to Man United, right, that's when he flopped, right? I say flop. You know why I say flop? He scored goals, but when it came to the big games, he didn't turn up.
Well,
right?
at Syria, AC Milan, he's turned
Yes.
up.
So when we get to say that, he said he had a weight problem. He lost weight, right? Got trimmed up. Conte put him on a diet, right? And that's why he's doing good in an easier league as well, mind you, in a system built for him, right? We're not going to do that for him, right? And he's 28 years old. We want to build around Havertz and all these young players that come in, right? Not Lukaku.
We have to build around
Lukaku
yeah,
is going to be in his 30s, right? By the time our players hit their peak, he's going to be non-relevant.
And his job is to score goals. I don't care about his age. We have Havertz, generational talent. We have Mount, who's a great player. We have to build around these players.
He's not going to be...
Michael.
It's not going to be the same.
Let me ask you
why is anyone talk to this mic, man?
One sec.
Let me ask this question real quick.
I'm not a football fan that just like looks at Haaland and see his
you're
YouTube
not the football fan. You're right, man.
I see his YouTube compilation. Oh
Guys,
my God,
you're not a football fan.
I don't believe the hype. I don't believe the hype.
Let Dag speak, please, guys. Come on, let's respect.
Look, this is the thing. This is the thing that's really confusing the hell out of me. Like, it's supremely confusing the hell out of me. Right? We're talking about, let's build a dynasty. Now's our time. If we want to build a dynasty, why would we get just listen? The only way we should be looking at Lukaku is if Haaland is an absolute no. Lukaku should not be our first choice. If we're trying to build a dynasty, getting a damn near 30-year-old striker who you will not be able to move on in the future,
like Harry Kane,
does not make sense. Like Harry Kane, like Lukaku, does not make sense. You bring in a Haaland who's 20 years old, and you yourself, we know how good Cobham is. We know how good our coaching staff is. We bring in a player who, even if he doesn't bang in 30, 40 goals a season, we know that we can develop this guy and still sell him on in the future.
I mean, that sounds good.
Hold on. If we're talking about building a dynasty, you bring a younger guy in that you know you can develop, but is still that looks like we're going to be one of the future Ballon d'Or candidates. Like, it's not a question.
That sounds good, but at the end of the day, we're Chelsea and we sack managers for not doing well.
It doesn't matter.
It does, because if Haaland doesn't do well, and we're like, what?
It doesn't matter, bro, because Hazard's been through so many managers too. Yeah, it doesn't matter, and that's what Chelsea recognize.
So you're okay with Tuchel getting sacked if we bring in Haaland, he's not banging in.
I'm not gonna rule it out.
Michael, it's okay.
I can't rule it out.
Okay, we can clear this
just
up.
Won a Champions League.
We can clear this up very, very quickly.
So did Di Matteo.
Name me.
Wait. Do you think Tuchel and Di Matteo?
Michael, name me a single manager that has said.
That's not what he said.
Name me a single manager that has said Haaland is overrated. Just a single manager. One manager, and I will agree with it. One manager. Tell me one manager that has said Haaland is overrated, and I will agree with it.
I could say the same thing about Lukaku and Kane. No manager says they're overrated.
A bunch of managers have not rated him to the point where they have put him out of position and benched him.
Yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not a manager. He's not a good manager.
Jose Mourinho, David Moyes, and
Jose Mourinho bought him.
There have been a lot. There have been a lot.
Jose Mourinho bought him at Man U.
And then did he bench him or he started him every single?
No, he started him and he scored 22 goals. I think in the league.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. I mean, overall.
Bro, Michael, your ball knowledge is on the floor. He scored 16 goals, man. No disrespect.
He scored 16 goals in
your
his
ball knowledge is on the fucking floor, man. It's the tops, man.
He scored 16 goals in his second season.
Hey, you know what?
No, he scored 16 Premier League goals in his first season. Look it up, my friend.
Hey, you know what annoys me about Lukaku too? That everyone forgot, right? When that time when we went for Lukaku and we ended up with Morata, we did go in for Lukaku. He made a choice to go to Man United, and I remember seeing that video too. He was dancing with Pogba. He was clapping hands, and he was doing that. He was like as if they're going to do a sleepover. You know, when you're younger and your parents agree to a sleepover. He was wrapped, right? He picked Man United over Chelsea when he had his chance to come back home. Unfinished business. Everyone's talking about, right? And that's yeah. But Lukaku still had the choice. If he felt like he had unfinished business, he would have came back then, and he didn't. Right.
Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, but this whole excuse me, this whole Mino Raiola thing. Why is it that it is only Paul Pogba that we hear all this negative things about with Mino
It's
Raiola?
not though.
Hold on, I mean,
Donnarumma as well.
But that's understandable. It's these star players that are in these what's it called?
Shit clubs.
Unachieving teams, just teams that aren't achieving anything.
Yeah, the shit clubs.
And it doesn't even make sense for him to want his star players to go to a team that is going to win something. Like,
Yeah, no, we all agree with that.
Like
If we're winning, it's no problem.
What I'm saying is, Mino Raiola is not going to be a problem. If Haaland comes in and he wins trophies here, there's nothing to make him think, oh, I'm not doing anything successful here.
Unless we're not winning. If we're not winning, then it will be a problem.
Of course. But if we're not winning, then that's our own fault with this team that we have.
No, exactly. No, I agree.
Exactly. So he has the right to say, I want to leave. He has the right.
Yeah, because we'll be on course. That's what we've been talking about. We'll be on course to be one of the best team or one of the best team, and he would have a limited choice to where he's going to go. If we are one of the best teams in Europe, there's going to be a few teams. Most teams are going to be a downgrade, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're going through transition. When we lost Hazard, which is the point you guys brought up, Hazard left Hazard came at a weird time when our players were getting older. Hazard left in our transitional season. We are going through that now. And this is the most important time. And I find that people don't have patience to see the future. Even if Haaland comes in and doesn't do well, right? I'm okay with that because I know 2-3 years.
I'm not because Tuchel.
Yeah, I know you're not because you're impatient.
No, I'm not.
You can't see the future. No, I mean, you're 17 years old, bro.
Saying Haaland would be the reason.
Listen when elders are talking. Listen when elders are talking because you don't understand. Because you don't understand the force will be in 3 years. Mason Mount, Reece James, Havertz, get some other players. I know there's going to be a few players, experienced players come in and out. Yes, right. But when these players hit their peak, imagine Haaland as well in that. Hit their peak, we'll be unstoppable. We will be unstoppable. That's when we will be like how Man City is portrayed.
The dynasty.
Right? We'll be more than that, and that's the dynasty we're talking about. And that's going to set us up for a decade more of domination. And Haaland, if he wants to leave, see you later, because everyone will want to be in our team. Right?
Then what do we do after Haaland wants to leave? What do we do after?
We get the next one.
We get the next one.
That the Haaland rumors are
You know
true.
what you do, Michael? You know what you do? At the prime age of 24, you sell him for $250 million. You sell him for.
What if he doesn't want to leave?
Like we did with Hazard.
You do what you do.
Yeah, what if, man? There's all kinds of problems, bro. There's always problems.
This is what we're not getting. This is what we're not understanding. Even if he stays here for 8 years, he is still going to be leaving at the age of 28. That is his prime. That is his prime. So he is still going to be sold for $200 million minimum. Minimum.
Marcus
He will be the best striker.
Can I just say?
I'm not sure. I just don't believe in the hype of this kid.
Nah, man, your other
No, we get that.
Well, man.
We get that.
I'd much rather
listen.
Let me rebut.
I want an experienced striker.
You called Aubameyang a flop.
I called him a flop because when Dortmund asked what's he done,
Hold out, man. Right, can you
It's a
listen,
bad
please?
example, though, Michael. Sorry.
Right. Can you listen?
Michael, you said you want.
Let him finish. Let Wayne speak. Go for it,
Look,
man.
I broke this news today in a positive manner because I thought, yes, we're finally showing signs that we're going for the next thing. We're going to be a dynasty. We're going to be the team we need to be. And I've gone on here being happy. And now I am fuming and angry because people ain't listening. This is our life. This is Chelsea. We won't be a dynasty. I've been Chelsea fans, I bet a few of us has been, for years, and thought I'd never ever see us find a better player like Haaland and sign him. I never thought I'd get my opportunity to sign him. And now we're there. So let's be positive. And Chelsea fans, for fuck's sake, listen to what I'm saying. Be a positive on this channel. We are finally going to be there where we need to be.
And it's Michael. It's all your opinion. It's all your opinion. But when you speak something, when you say something that can be, when it can be justified, when it can be justified, I'll understand what you're saying. Okay, but you're saying this man, I don't believe the hype, right?
Yeah.
There is no longer hype. There is fact. There is fact. He has scored 40 goals in a season. He has been the top scorer in the Champions League, and he didn't make it out of the quarterfinals.
50%.
But he didn't win anything, bro. So,
but it's not about. That's the wrong metric, man. The metric we just brought up.
Based on the first year. In terms of the player, he's going straight to the top regardless. I agree with you on
I
that.
just don't get it. Like, there's a difference between the hype of a player like a João Felix, who went for 100 million, 110 million, but he didn't do shit. He didn't do
Ousmane Dembele.
He didn't do
Dembele
shit.
from Dortmund to
Ousmane
Barca.
Dembele, he didn't really do shit in Dortmund either.
So why do you think Haaland would
The
do
hype
something?
of players that you're talking
Why
about.
do you think Haaland would do something?
Because he has proved it with his numbers. 40 goals a
So
season.
did Dembele. So did João Felix.
The percentage, the shot conversion.
Bro, they didn't have Haaland numbers. What are you talking about, my friend? You're
They had good. They had good
40 goals a season.
Yeah, I think Haaland's conversion rate is 50%, which is crazy.
Once more, 40 goals a season. The last players to do this are Messi and Ronaldo at that age, dog. Come on.
Yeah, my thing has been clear. Don't expect too much in the first season, but from then on,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you
And
know,
you have to have that patience, man.
patience has to be.
We might
given.
lose Tuchel.
but the thing is, Lewis, it's these.
But it doesn't matter.
We might lose him.
It's these.
It doesn't
fans like
matter. Exactly.
It's these
So
fans.
it doesn't matter if
It's
you
these
lose
fans like
Tuchel,
Michael.
and then what?
After that first year, they'll be getting on
We'll
his
still be
ass.
Chelsea. We'll get another manager, and we'll continue winning with Haaland in our squad.
This is what you don't understand, Michael, is that when you have such a backbone and a foundation and class players, right, like that you could put any manager and we're going to be winning. That's what Chelsea have realized. That's why we go through. I hate it, right? I want stability with a manager, but the players are more important. That's what Chelsea have realized, and that's why they're investing so much. And this is an opportunity now to do it without the financial fair play to build the next 10 years. But you want instant success. You want tomorrow, right? You want bang, bang, bang. What you're failing to see is what will be in 3 years and beyond.
But
That's what
we've
you're
been
failing
saying
to
that-
see.
You've been saying that for
Mid to long term upside is really.
in the past 2 years as well. Oh,
No,
we
I
think
understand
we're
you're
gonna
still
be
in
like
school
this in
because
3
you haven't
years.
seen the next 3 years. You don't think about the next 3 years. But
We didn't
you've
have
seen other teams that have done it.
No, we didn't have a Champions League to think about in the last year. We didn't think about a champion. We didn't have a
But
champion.
we always say that. Oh, 3-4 years time we're going to be
When you
dominant.
have-
We're already dominant now. We just won the Champions
When
League
you have a champion
without a striker.
No time to be complacent then.
League, look, before we got this Champions League, everyone on this team was inexperienced. We had a young team that have only had a year together, and they're inexperienced. And we saw that on the pitch multiple times.
Yeah, with Bundesliga talent.
Bring in an experienced manager, and he talks and he teaches them how to learn their roles. Right? They go on and win a Champions League. Now, each player on that roster has Champions League winning experience. That is something that not a lot of people in Europe or not a lot of players in Europe can say.
And how do you complete this team? You complete this team by buying an experienced striker.
You complete this team by
Cultivating
getting
generational talent.
You complete this team by getting a young generational talent that can bang you in 20 goals minimum in the league. Right? And he's young, so you can build him. You can build him and all the young players you have together. So they work like this is why we saw Lampard, Terry, right? Drogba. They were all in the same age group. They were able to work together because they knew how each other worked. They understood.
But if Lukaku comes in, Havertz can learn off him, Werner can learn off him, and Mount gets assists.
All right, big up
Look, I
Artem.
don't think-
One sec, guys. Artem saying so Kane's a flop because he didn't win anything. No, that's why you can't just say one rule for one player and means the same rule for everybody else.
Don't waste your super chat on my team, man. He
But it's
thinks
true.
he's
What
very
was
special,
Kane
man.
won? What is Kane won?
Artem also says Haaland could have Southgate. He would still score. Probably.
You know what he has won? He has won the exact same thing.
Respect
Right,
Southgate.
5
you're
points.
going
I've
to
got to
the
wrap
manager.
the stream up in a few minutes.
He has won the exact same thing as Aubameyang has when his time was done in Borussia Dortmund. The exact same thing.
Wait. Didn't Aubameyang win a trophy with FIFA?
Yes, so did Haaland. He won the Pokal last year. Literally.
But Kane has won nothing.
I'm not talking about Kane. I'm talking about Aubameyang. What?
This mic is moving the goalpost like.
I'm not moving the
It's
goalpost.
deflection, man. Yeah, you are, man. You deflect on every answer.
Let's get it straight. Let's get it straight. Harry Kane, in my opinion, is the best striker in the world. Let's get it straight. You can bin the trophies with that club. With that club, you can bin the trophies. But the players itself, are you telling me Son is just a waste man? He's nothing.
Nah, Son is sick, man.
Exactly. So what do you mean? Because they don't have trophies, they're terrible.
No, I'm not saying because they don't have trophies, they're terrible.
Don't even listen to me. He said 10 minutes ago that he wants Harry Kane. So I don't even know why he's still mentioning trophies with Harry Kane.
You still have to have winning mentality. These players don't have winning mentality.
Every 10 minutes.
Johnny said because we won one Champions League.
You know what shows winning mentality? What shows winning mentality is them leaving that club. That shows winning mentality.
Yeah, and Haaland wants to leave and better himself, man.
How do you know Haaland wants to leave?
Bro, he wants
to leave. He's got a buyout clause in his contract.
Exactly. Why does he have a release clause?
For next year.
Why does the date matter? He's gonna leave regardless. So
exactly.
He has been here for 1.5 years, man. He doesn't want to stay long term there.
You're the one who said he keeps
wants
moving
to go
clubs
to a
every 2
finisher
seasons.
club.
If he had no ambition, why would he keep moving clubs every 2 seasons? Then that makes no
Exactly.
sense.
So at Chelsea, he's going to stay 3-4 years, and he's going to.
How do you know that? This is why I don't know.
This is your fear, Michael.
Why
This
do
is
we
your
always
fear.
look at these hypotheticals and ifs? Why don't we look at what we need right now?
Yeah, we're looking at hypotheticals.
Do you think when City sign players, they sign players and think about they're going to leave, or do they want to sign players to win them titles right now? They don't care about the value they're going to store them at. They want to win titles right now. Let's be real. City don't care about how much they sell the players for.
Haaland's a project. 3-4 years, we have to wait. So your argument doesn't work.
Who the fuck said that we have to 3-4 years?
Who said
Yeah,
that?
no one agrees with that, man. So listen, you're worried.
But you guys
Michael, you're worried that
it's a 3-4 year project.
Yo, last point right here, real quick, guys.
Price comes out.
Go, Myron.
Yo, so Michael, you're concerned that if we get a player like Haaland and he doesn't succeed in the first year, that could tank Tommy Tuchel, and then that could bring us into some sort of spiral of like disaster. We don't agree with you. We do not think, we are not worried about that. We are not afraid of that. In fact, we think that this will propel us into 10 to like 15 years of greatness. So, we have different fears, we have different concerns, but ultimately this is not something we're worried about.
And Michael, the key word is, you said 3 to 4 year project. We said 3 to 4 year dynasty, right? Well, this isn't a project. This isn't a project anymore. We have already won the Champions League. We have completed the project. The project.
The project is you haven't lived to see a dynasty. That's why, Michael.
The project has been completed.
Do you know how we continued the dynasty? By winning the Champions League next year.
By signing,
if we sign Haaland,
the third best striker in the world, because he's the only striker available.
What? If we sign Haaland, we do what? Michael?
Well, we win the Champions League next year if we sign Haaland.
Yes, why not? Why not?
But I know we're going to be.
Okay, but no. But what other striker will win us the Champions League then?
We're going to be the favorites.
To me, look,
back yourself, man.
I hear that. Guys, I ain't even going to lie to you. We got to wrap this one up. I've got to head out. We got another stream on Blues Fans, Chelsea Fan TV at 7:30. So check it out. We're doing a big season review. So check it out. Smash the like and subscribe button. Seeing as we called Aubameyang a flop and I'm petty, we're going to end it with this photo. Take care. Like and subscribe. And as always, agenda will agenda. Up the gel.